want to welcome you to our Spring Character Counts Award ceremony. It's a dreary night outside, but we have an exciting evening planned for you today. My name is Mike Fisher, and along with Dr. Murphy, we'll be co-hosting this Character Counts Award ceremony. Just to give you a background of Character Counts, it's a collaboration of community groups including the Chamber of Commerce, Municipal Government, Rotary, Ministerium, and parent-teacher associations. For 19 years, the initiative has been a catalyst behind many inspirational, educational programs, as well as philosophical changes in the community. Tonight's ceremony is an opportunity to recognize individuals in our community who have made a positive impact on the lives of others. At the culmination of this program, Mr. Brian Schill, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, will recognize the annual Carol Foley Award winner. Just some housekeeping notes. As we recognize the nominee, we will ask them to come up and stand as we read their nomination. And at the end of the nomination, after the nomination is read, we'll ask the person who made the nomination to come up and have a photo opportunity with them. And then at the culmination of the ceremony, there will be refreshments served that were provided by the South Hills Bible Chapel. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Murphy so she can read our first nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Good evening. Our first nominee is Keaton Kelly, who is nominated by Mrs. Laura Brannon of Bower Hill. Keaton is a third grade student at Bower Hill Elementary. Mrs. Brannon first met Keaton last year when he was at lunch. During this school year, Keaton had made a new friend, a boy who needs some assistance at lunch. During lunch, Mrs. Brannon noticed that this new friend only wanted his new buddy Keaton to assist him. For her nomination, Mrs. Brannon described Keaton as a sweet and compassionate boy who listens to his friend and helps him when he can. He helps him with his drink, he laughs with him, he picks up his things that his buddy has dropped. But the best thing that she has witnessed in both boys' faces when they light up when they see each other. Mrs. Brannon explained that she has no idea how the rest of their day plays out, but when these two boys see each other at lunch, it brings a joy to her face. Mrs. Brannon ended her nomination by writing that she hopes that as Keaton grows up, that he understands how important it is to surround yourself with characters that count. Great job, Keaton.
Our next two nominees are 10th grade students at Peters Township High School, Uma Thakafuza and Mary Albert. This school year, Mary and Uma came up with the idea to organize a sock drive, which is, if you don't know, a collection of socks, hats, gloves, and scarves. Mary pitched the idea to Uma, who presented it to the Peters Township High School Executive Council of Student Leaders at the beginning of December 2017. The young ladies took the initiative to complete the paperwork, communicate with all the principals in the district, and organize the drive. As a result of their efforts, they successfully collected and donated 215 socks, 62 hats, 91 gloves, and 18 scarves to those in need at the Washington City Mission. To nominate Uma and Mary, Mr. Lesnett wrote, "We are proud not only of their philanthropic spirit, but we are also proud of their logistical perseverance to see this initiative through to completion." Congratulations.
Next up, we have Austin Malley, Peters Township Middle School 7th grader, nominated by Sandra Yakubik, Peters Township Middle School teacher. Throughout the 2017-18 school year, Mrs. Yakubik has witnessed Austin go above and beyond to demonstrate kindness, initiate conversations, and become friends with her students in her class. Austin frequently greets her students at lunch, in the hallways, and during classes. He's devoted his time in class to help one of her students. Mrs. Yakubik described Austin as patient, kind, compassionate, polite, and always has a smile on his face. To nominate Austin, she wrote, "As a learning support teacher, it is imperative for me to help my students develop and build social skills, and Austin is a student who makes developing friendships easier for them. While most students are kind to my students, Austin goes a step further, genuinely wanting to be their friend. Likewise, many of my students talk to me about their friend Austin and look forward to seeing him in the hallways and having classes with him." Mrs. Yakubik described Austin as an incredible example of someone who sees past disabilities and spreads kindness and positivity. He sets an example of acceptance and understanding. She firmly believes that many of her students' days at school are better because of Austin. Congratulations, Austin.
Our next nominee is Isabella Updike, a 5th grade student at McMurray Elementary, and she was nominated by Lori Motosicki. Isabella Updike, otherwise known as Bella, is a very caring and helpful classmate, which is a product of the compassion she demonstrates with her own family. While sleeping over her grandparents' house, her grandfather was drinking his morning coffee and suddenly became unconscious. As Bella's grandmother panicked and tried to wake him, Bella calmly grabbed the telephone and dialed 911. She knew exactly what to do and remained calm under pressure. The ambulance arrived and transported her grandfather to the hospital. Bella's grandfather is doing well thanks to her calm granddaughter, Isabella Updike. Bella's family and school nurse are very proud of her response in this emergency situation. Mrs. Motosicki even believes that she has a future in the medical field.
Our next nominee, Dana Sasuda, was nominated by Laura Rohrbach. To nominate Dana, Laura wrote, "One of my favorite quotes regarding kindness is as follows: Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn the world around." Several weeks ago, Dana posted a simple question on a local Facebook page. "Any other moms interested in buying pizza for the teachers of Bower Hill with me?" Given the many safety school incidents across the nation, she wanted to do something nice to show her appreciation to the wonderful teachers at her daughter's school. If you ask her, she will tell you she expected to hear back from a handful of parents. Instead, Dana's simple act of kindness turned into a movement. One mom after another wanted to pitch in. Before she knew it, parents stepped up at the other schools to do the same. Over the next 2 weeks, an entire community of moms came together and provided lunch to all of the employees in our school district, including the administrative office. Dana's simple act of thoughtfulness took on a life of its own. Laura's nomination ended with, I am so honored to nominate Dana for a Character Counts Award. It's true when they say kindness is contagious. Thank you, Dana, for inspiring a community to turn a small act of kindness into something so much bigger. It only takes one person, and it's no surprise to me that person was you. Thank you, Dana. Congratulations.
In order. Our next nominee is Nancy Zimmer, and she was nominated by Danae Hayes. Danae Hayes described Nancy as a selfless individual, a thoughtful friend, an incredible resource, a passionate volunteer, an amazing mother, a dedicated board member, as she serves on multiple boards and committees, a trusted ear, a straight shooter. She stated that all of these just scratched the surface of Nancy Zimmer. She brings forth ideas to honor and thank teachers like Thankful Thursdays at McMurray Elementary. She encourages collaboration when there are conflicting sides to an issue. She's the first to bring a solution to the table when something is just not working, whether it be a party format or a process. She holds people accountable for their words and promises. She doesn't take on tasks without doing it at 100%. She respectfully values opinions, even if her opinion differs. Respect, responsibility, and honesty are only 3 of the many positive characteristics that make up Nancy Zimmer, a character who counts. Congratulations.
Next, we have nominee Antonio Zulaga, nominated by Donald Angel. Donald nominated Antonio Zulaga due to his dedication and embodiment of the Rotary International motto of service above self. Having been a member with the local McMurray Club for 16 years, Antonio has routinely given of his time, talent, and treasures for the betterment of those around him, not only in his local community, but around the globe. Locally, Antonio designed and organized the weekend and summer food program, which addresses the dietary needs of children in our school district who qualify for federal food subsidies. Globally, Antonio's involvement with a children's orphanage in Colombia is another example of his character. Antonio has worked to obtain grants from both our local Rotary District and Concordia Lutheran Ministries, as well as raising funds to total over $13,000 to provide items such as bedding, personal care needs, crayons, pencils, and 2 vans to allow for safe transportation for the children. He then put his own safety aside and traveled to the orphanage at his own expense to make sure that the money collected would be directly put to use for their immediate needs of furniture, appliances, and kitchen utensils. Dawn described Antonio as a role model, a valuable asset to our community, and the definition of what the Character Counts Award was created to recognize. Congratulations, Antonio.
Next, we have Paige Kuyan, who is a 10th grader at Peters Township High School, and she was nominated by Holly Hirant. Mrs. Hirant described Paige as a wonderful student, person, and classmate. She explained that Paige is always the first to include others, extend kindness to others, offer a smile to whoever needs it, and help out whenever she is able. She is a motivated student who cares about not only her learning, but the learning of those around her. She is extremely respectful, is always enthusiastic for whatever task is given to her, and ready to offer a helping hand or bring a smile to the face of another. Mrs. Hirant extended by writing, "I'm so proud to have her as one of my students. She is a joy." Congratulations, Paige.
Next, we have nominee Kristen Groniger, PTHS English teacher, nominated by her student Ben Zeisloft, PTHS senior. When nominating Mrs. Groniger, Ben described her as a prime example of a teacher who genuinely cares for the overall education of Peters Township High School students. He explained that at the end of the 2016-17 school year, the high school forensic speech and debate team did not have a coach. The team's student leadership scrambled to find a new coach, and out of all of the teachers they asked to assume the role, Mrs. Groniger was the one who responded with a determined yes. Though she never previously coached forensics, she enthusiastically leaped at the opportunity to support her students outside of the classroom. Ben explained that Mrs. Groniger has succeeded in every aspect of running the organization. At their first tournament of the complete competition season, the team placed second overall, an accomplishment that they never accomplished before Mrs. Groniger's leadership. Ben wrote that Mrs. Groniger represents the attributes of respect, responsibility, and honesty more than anyone that he has encountered during his high school career. He described her as honest in her devotion to education, especially in the sphere of oratory and writing, and she authenticates her passion through countless hours of work and mentorship for the students of Peters Township High School, which results in the enrichment of the community and students. Thank you, Kristen.
Next, we have Jamie Oswald, 12th grade student at Peters Township High School. She was nominated by Karen Ferreri. When nominating Jamie, Karen Ferreri explained that Jamie took on the role of president of the Best Buddies chapter at Peters Township High School this year. In this role, Jamie has shown such responsibility in planning appropriate and fun activities and events for kids with disabilities in school. Organizing these events took a lot of planning, coordinating, and communication, not only with students and teachers, but also parents. Jamie also expanded this group tremendously by encouraging other typically developing kids to join and by planning many more activities for students to enjoy. Mrs. Ferreri described Jamie as a person who exemplifies compassion, respect, and has gone above and beyond to form friendships with her son when communication, participation, and trust can be difficult since he has autism. Jamie has always made her son Ross feel comfortable and welcomed. She wrote that she saw such a change in Ross this year because he felt part of a group. She witnessed many hugs and words of encouragement, not only with Ross, but with others participating in Best Buddies. Mrs. Ferreri describes Jamie as such an honest, heartfelt girl who is so mature and responsible. As a senior in high school, it is unbelievable that Jamie coordinated taking a group of kids to the Heinz History Center on a Friday night for the Best Buddies Ball, when a lot of kids her age would rather just do their own thing. The Best Buddies Ball was an event that her son will never forget, and neither will the others that attended. She explained that she felt 100% comfortable leaving her son at the event with such a responsible and caring friend. Mrs. Ferreri ended her nomination by writing, "There is no doubt that Jamie exemplifies the characteristics that represent what this ward is all about." Congratulations.
Next, we have nominee Julie Collins, who was nominated by Becky Lipinski. At a PTA meeting at Bower Hill Elementary, Becky learned that the committee that assembled, ordered, and distributed the district directory was retiring. Several people decided to assume this role. From the beginning, it was a daunting task that none of them had experienced before. At the first committee meeting, roles were divided. At that time, Julie stepped up to head the committee, overseeing all aspects of the directory until its completion. The task took months, and Julie was an integral part every step of the way. She did so willingly, as she had made a commitment to see the project to the end. Becky recognized the huge role that Julie played in publishing the directory. She did this on a limited timeline and with limited funds. Her willingness to take on this enormous project speaks volumes to her character. Becky wrote that Julie is a person who exemplifies this award as she strives to be respectful, honest, and responsible in every activity which she volunteers, and there are many. She ended her nomination with, "I am lucky to call Julie a friend, and our community is so fortunate to have her in our corner." Congratulations, Julie.
Our next nominee is Kirsten McGrath, nominated by Rebecca Ribberich. Mrs. Ribberich described Kirsten as a phenomenal person who makes a positive impact on the entire Peters Township community. Her awe-inspiring ability to give of herself is evidenced by the time she spent at McMurray Elementary, personally painting the front windows of the school to make it festive for the students and staff. She also turned McMurray's grand staircase into a fish-themed area that showcases almost 1,000 personalized fish to support the building's theme, Only One You. The entire staff enjoyed supporting this underwater theme, which made this year something truly special. Selflessly, Kirsten organized a lunch appreciation for the McMurray staff members to show the community's support for everything they do for their students. Please consider Kirsten McGrath as a Character Counts candidate. Her giving goes on, and she deserves to be recognized at the grandest level. Congratulations.
Next up, we have nominee Jeffrey Steele, PTHS senior, nominated by Kristen Neff, PTHS physics teacher. Mrs. Neff described Jeffrey as a student who stands out amongst his peers by bringing education and current technology to life. Recently, Jeffrey presented his virtual reality simulator during the high school's technology fair, where it was highly favored by participants and sparked interest among many ages. Jeffrey went a step above and beyond and volunteered to do a presentation for his physics class at the high school. Jeffrey spoke with eloquence and maturity and truly engaged the students about how virtual reality works and has many societal benefits. He also trusted his classmates to use it, giving them a possibility of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see a virtual reality world. He related its use to his pursuit of becoming a pilot, attending CCBC's aviation program already as a high school senior. Jeffrey's peers should look up to him as a role model, as what you learn in school can tie into your everyday life. Mrs. Neff ended her nomination by writing, "We truly appreciate his offer to become a teacher for the day, and quite frankly, kept his classmates more enthralled than I ever could." Great job, Jeffrey.
Next, we have Jeannie Segrimis, Peters Township High School thespian sponsor, nominated by Andrea Michalski on behalf of the PTHS thespian backers. Jeannie Segrimis is the sponsor of the Peters Township High School's thespian troupe 185. Mrs. Michalski highlighted Jeannie's love and respect of theater and her students and is appreciative of her time and work with the thespian troupe for the past 3 years. This school year, Jeannie went above and beyond by demonstrating how much she supports our thespian program and is willing to put forward an extraordinary effort for our children. Every year, members of our troupe attend the Pennsylvania State Thespian Conference. This year, our troupe was offered the honor of performing a main stage performance. A main stage performance was a much greater undertaking than a normal show because of the travel required, as well as the required involvement of every member. Transporting every piece of the set, every costume, props, and equipment was necessary for this performance. Jeannie worked with the students and explained the commitment that would be required, which included summer rehearsals, working around the fall high school production, and rehearsing right up to the conference departure in early December. Jeannie and the students planned to ensure they could meet the requirements of the main stage performance, which allotted the troupe only 1 hour to unload the truck and 1 hour to build the stage on set. After the troupe's performance, they were provided 1 hour to take down their set and reload the truck so the next troupe could set up. This brutal schedule required a Herculean effort, and Jeannie and the troupe successfully accomplished this challenge. Their performance was incredible, and the troupe received wonderful accolades from all those in attendance, as well as the adjudicators. The troupe was incredibly proud to see they were capable and worthy of a main stage performance at a state conference. Jeannie provided her students with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and the thespian parents understand how much work this project entailed and could not be more impressed or grateful. Jeannie Segrimis demonstrated through both word and action that she is a person most worthy of the Character Counts Award. Congratulations.
Next, we have nominee Carter Maneely, Pleasant Valley second grader, nominated by Courtney Corey, Pleasant Valley teacher. In her nomination, Mrs. Corey explained that Carter came to Pleasant Valley this year as a new student and was immediately welcomed due to his friendly and outgoing demeanor. He has been a role model for his class since day one by always encouraging and helping his classmates, always following directions, always trying his best, and always doing the right thing. Mrs. Corey often overhears Carter at recess or during cooperative learning time complimenting and/or encouraging a classmate by clapping or saying good job. Carter is the first to volunteer, even when help isn't needed. Carter somehow sees what needs to be done and does it. For example, he notices when the cupboards are open and he closes them. He picks up garbage from the floor, he puts books back on the shelf where they belong, or he helps his classmates put their iPads away every time they use them. Almost every day, at the end of the day during cleanup time, he looks around the room and on his own, without being asked, he gets up and puts things away. Lastly, Connor's manners are above and beyond. He says thank you and please without being reminded, and he says hello and goodbye to his teacher every day. Mrs. Corey ended her nomination by writing that Connor is not just a joy to have in class, but he's a hero to his classmates. Congratulations, Carter.
Our next nominee is Monica Merrill, nominated by Christine Ponce. Mrs. Ponce recognized Mrs. Monica Merrill for her work as director at Pittsburgh's Mercy Hospital, where she has shared her combined education, knowledge of people and systems with the entire community. Additionally, she has worked tirelessly as a councilwoman in Peters Township for over 10 years, during which she served on the board of directors of the Washington County Symphony and has been their president for the past 2 years. As a member of Zonta, she presents the talents of our local students and teachers for their efforts raising the bar in Peters Township. Monica supports our first responders and library through supporting their programs and financial needs. On a more personal note, she recognizes their accomplishments with personal cards expressing her feelings and pride with their accomplishments. As anyone who has received these notes of congratulation or condolences realizes, they are not only limited to township employees, but also to school employees, members of the public, or maybe to a family after an emergency or tragedy. During the holidays, she delivers food, coffee, cakes, popcorn, cookies, and other snacks to the fire and police departments to show her appreciation for their commitment in protecting our community. As recently as this past week, she helped Peters Township Library celebrate Library Week with a yearly supply of goodies to show her gratitude for their effort in making our library the best in the Commonwealth. Her generosity does not stop with the township's organizations. Through her personal and professional contacts, she supplied our school district with furniture, office equipment, sound equipment, classroom supplies, and STEM materials. Mrs. Merle has also been instrumental in displaying her family's artwork in our schools to increase the staff and students' exposure to many prominent artists. While doing these activities, she is also the president of her own successful consulting company, where she oversees their construction activities, rewrites operation manuals and personnel handbooks. She is often hired to stand in the place of executive positions during their hiring process and during employee and executive searches. Monica has served in the local political arena as a local committee person and is currently running for the position of Republican State Committee member in the upcoming primary. Congratulations, Ms. Merle.
Our final nominees for this evening are Jacob Rozak and A.J. McGarity, McMurray sixth graders, who were nominated by Mrs. Kristen Kropanicki McMurray teacher. Mrs. Kropanicki has known Jacob and AJ for the 2017-18 school year. She explained that they are in her homeroom, science, and social studies classes. On numerous occasions, she has witnessed them demonstrating exceptionally admirable character. AJ and Jake are so kind and respectful to a student with special needs in their homeroom. As soon as the student arrives, AJ and Jake make a point of asking him how his night was and how he's doing today. The boys are always giving him encouragement during science class. On one specific occasion, she was changing their seating arrangement, and she asked where they would like to sit if they had any choice. Their immediate response was to sit by the student. Other adults in the school have also reported that AJ and Jake have gone out of their way to comfort this student in the cafeteria, making sure that he's never sitting alone. Aside from the many caring examples she could list on this nomination form, both AJ and Jake are excellent students. They consistently have their work completed, volunteer in class discussions, and always go above and beyond when completing assignments. It is for all these reasons that Mrs. Kropanicki nominated these two outstanding boys for the Character Counts Award. They are very deserving of this honor. Great job, Jacob and AJ.
So we're at that point in the award ceremony where we're going to ask Mr. Brian Schill to come up for the Carol Foley Award winner.
Thanks, Mr. Fisher. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are presenting the sixth annual Carol Foley Memorial Character Counts Award. I can't believe it's our sixth year already. We do this annually in the spring. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Ed Foley to come forward, our chairman of the board and past recipient, Linda Webster, and the following previous recipients who are here as well: Greg Gold, Megan Chacon, Jim Dolanch, Harry Frick, Mike Silvestri, and Shelley Belcher. You can see we take this award very seriously. Carol Foley was my predecessor who served this community for a quarter of a century as the Peters Township Chamber of Commerce Executive Director. She was well known and much loved. She was a true pillar of the community. So it makes perfect sense to remember her legacy by choosing those recipients who dedicate themselves not only to the Chamber, but to this community as well. This year's recipient is a past president and current board member of the Washington County Junior Achievement Board of Advisors. He's a volunteer classroom teacher for Junior Achievement. He's a brand spanking new board member of the Peters Township Chamber of Commerce. And he's a past president and current treasurer of the Berg Networking Group, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present the 6th annual Carol Foley Memorial Character Counts Award to Mr. Steve McCarron.
I don't know about you, but that was an inspiring evening to be able to see so many amazing people in this community. And not to speak for the team at the district, but I will. We know how blessed we are to work here and to serve all of you and work with you each and every day, so we thank you for that. We again want to thank everyone for coming and invite you to join us for a small reception sponsored by the Bible Chapel out in the lobby. One thing we wanted to bring to your attention is this might be the last Character Counts event of this year, but we'll be kicking off the 20th anniversary next year with some exciting new things coming on board. Last night, our board of directors approved Rachel's Challenge, which is a new program we're bringing to the district to supplement already the great things we're doing now with Character Counts. Rachel's Challenge is a program, it's an international program that was started by the family of Rachel Scott, who was the young lady who was the first victim at Columbine High School. And this program brings caring and compassion and will just continue to grow all of the great things that we already do with Character Counts to our community. And that event will be kicked off on September 25th at the Bible Chapel, and we're hoping you'll all join us there to kick off this really great event and just to continue the great work of Character Counts. Thank you again so much. Be safe riding home, and have a great evening. All the recipients of the award, if you would come up to the stage for another photo opportunity, we would appreciate it.